currently 7:51 in the morning, and I've been thinking for the last 2 hours about what makes me a content creator. I've thought a lot about this for the past probably decade, because I made my first YouTube video in like 2010, 2011 or so, and ever since then, I've been obsessed with making content. I had to stop making content for the lame reason of focusing on school and work and all that stuff. But as I've been creating content more recently and have had it impact my life in that it takes a lot of time, I've often had to step back and say, man, why am I doing this? What's the point? Why am I investing hundreds of hours streaming or making content or editing, etc., right? And this morning, it's Thanksgiving. I could not sleep because I think there was just too much on my mind. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do my dishes. I'm gonna do my laundry. I'm gonna take out trash. And then I brewed a cup of coffee and sat in my beanbag and watched the sunrise. And as I was watching the sunrise, I was just listening to some Billy Joel and random Spotify. I think it was a playlist for "Are You in a 2000s movie?" Basically. As I was listening to it, I realized that also, if you hear the beeping, that's my laundry. I realized, why am I a content creator? I started thinking about it. What's the point? Why am I doing this? Why do I have all of these notes upon notes, like thousands and thousands of words? I probably have a couple hundred notes in my phone about video ideas or content. And each of those notes have thousands of words. I mean, I've written a lot and thought a lot about things. But why? What's the point? I don't know. I've asked that for the last 2 minutes, but I think the conclusion that I came to, is that I am a content creator because I am lonely. I think actually that a lot of streamers and content creators are lonely. When I think about the happiest I've been as a gamer, it was in high school when I would get back from school and immediately hop on Discord and play League with my friends, or we just play random shit. We would just hang out and have a blast together. And it was an awesome time just having that friendship. But then, you graduate, you move on, and life happens, and that friendship is lost. And now you become obsessed with getting a good job or getting good grades or whatever. And I think about that a lot because it was definitely the happiest I've been while gaming. And so one of the issues with that is that, okay, well, what if you just make friends again and then play games together? The issue is that in the back of my head, I'm always like, man, I could be spending this time making content. I could be, blah, 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 blah. And so content creation to me is a way to have friends that are similar to me. That we're lonely a little bit. We make this content. I mean, I want it to be clear. Obviously, not every streamer is lonely. Not every content creator is lonely. But when you think about what streaming to a camera for 12 hours straight means that you're sitting in a room, probably maybe by yourself, talking into a mic, staring at a camera for 12 hours with a chat that the viewers whose faces you'll never see, and the interactions that you're having are unidirectional. You are talking into a microphone and everyone's consuming it. Yeah, people chat with you, but that's not that's not a real like interaction. It's a filtered interaction through the streamer's like filter, right? Um, and I think that as a result, a lot of streamers, I mean, you have to be okay with being alone for a very long time. But what that means is like fundamentally, a lot of streamers are lonely, in my opinion. So I would say that that friendship amongst streamers is something that I love. Is we all, I think my ideal friend is someone who loves gaming, someone who loves getting good at games and just obsesses over improvement and getting good at stuff and makes content about it and makes content that they're proud of, not just content that will maximize views or will whatever be hopping on the most recent trend, but like content where they go to a bar and someone asks them, hey, what do you do? What do you like doing? And they're like, dude, let me show you this really cool thing that I made. Show them, and like you're just excited to do that. I think that's like my ideal friend. And I've realized that a lot of creators fit the bill for that. There are just so many people that are incredible and make incredible stuff and are great at games and love games. You don't even have to be great at games. I think the good part of like getting good, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's just like a love for games and a passion for gaming. I think is really important to me. And I think a passion for content is really important too, and that's why I love friendship as part of content creation. I think that's a very important aspect of it for me, and that's what I learned today. I love getting good at stuff. I think that getting good at something and speedrunning, for example, getting a world record, and being able to share that with people, I think is incredible. I think that's so insanely cool. Because I think the learning process is really awesome. Like all speedrunning or all getting good at something is learning and absorbing and then executing. And I think that it's really cool to like learning and improvement. And that maybe sounds lame for me to say that, or maybe sounds obvious, but I don't think it is. I think a lot of people are very complacent, or they like reject the idea of improvement because they hate being bad at stuff. And part of improvement is you got to suck like really bad before you're even remotely like passable. So I love that process and like showing people that it's really cool to improve and that it's cool to be a nerd and that it's cool to be a dork about very specific things. And to pay attention to the finer details. I think that's fucking awesome. So when I think about the question that I'm going to be asked many times as a creator, why are you a content creator? The first answer is I am lonely and I love the friendship that content creation brings. And second, I really love getting good at stuff and being a nerd and learning stuff. And it's really cool to share that process with people. And then I think another really important thing is having fun with people and showing that it's okay to be a dork. It's okay to be a little weird. It's okay to be a little goofy. And to be cringe. Dude, I don't give a fuck. I am cringe sometimes. I don't care, dude. It's okay to be a little cringe sometimes. I don't care. It's fine. And just sharing that confidence in being yourself, I think is a really important thing, because I can't imagine a world where I grew up ashamed of being a gamer or being weird. I think that I wouldn't be me, and that would be horrible, because I'm pretty happy with who I ended up as a 24-year-old. I don't know what I'll end up being in 6 years or 10 years or whatever, but where I am right now, I'm pretty proud of myself. And I think that I want to inspire other people to realize, hey man, it's okay to fucking love doing whatever it is you like doing. If it happens to be gaming, like for me, it's just gaming, being a nerd. I don't know, just like being a dork about games, and getting really good at stuff. Specifically games, not stuff. I pretty much have all my skill points in games, and content stuff. Um, so I think if I could be an inspiration to someone, that they watch my stuff, they watch my streams, they watch my content, and they realize, oh my god, it's okay to be a little weird, or it's okay to be a little goofy. It's okay to be extremely passionate and nerdy about the things that you love. If I can help people recognize that, not by just telling them, because that just doesn't work, but by demonstrating it through who I am and who I embody as a creator and really as a person, I think that would make me really happy. So I would say, again, 3 things. The friendship that content creation brings is really important to me. Improvement, getting really good at stuff, just obsessing over things and being passionate about gaming is really important. And showing to other people that it's okay to do all of that is really important. And I think that my laundry's beeping again. But I think there are very incredible people and very incredible creators out there in the world. And it would make me so happy to be friends with them, and to get to know them and to understand who they are. And so I think my ideal world is where I wake up, I have a bunch of homies that I am in touch with, and I just want to hear about how their stuff is going, how their day is going, how they're feeling about everything, and being honest with each other. Because I think in the content creation world, there's a very counterintuitive toxic positivity, I would say, where someone makes something objectively bad and you say, wow, that's amazing, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen, good job. It's not true. Or they say, like, oh, I don't know why my stream isn't doing well, or oh, I don't know why whatever. The reality is you're not trying your hardest, or you're just boring. Like, I think it's important, if you really care about someone, if you really care about their happiness and their success, like being honest and saying, hey man, look, like this video was not very good. But here are some thoughts that I've personally realized or I've thought about that I hope I can help you with. Or this thumbnail isn't the greatest. This title is not the greatest. What if you change this? Obviously, unsolicited shit, no bueno. But like, I think simultaneously, dishonesty and being positive for no reason is also cringe. I think that honesty is really important, because I think that's something I wish I had. I think a lot of people I interact with, at least right now, are dishonest. They're just like positive when I'm sure in the back of their head there's got to be some issues. Tell me them, please. Just let me know what I'm doing wrong in your eyes. I don't care. Say my shit is cringe. Say it's awful. Say you fucking lost me 30 seconds into the video. Your 20-minute video, you lost me in the first 30 seconds. You're lame. But here's how you fix it. Here's what I think you could do better. I might not listen to you, but at least you're being honest. I think that the thing that I'm trying to learn and to improve on right now as a human being is being honest. Because I think something I've learned at my time at Brown is that there's a lot of value in dishonesty. In that, like when you're applying for jobs or when you're interviewing or when you're schmoozing, like there is a way to interact that like maximizes the other person's perspective on you, in terms of like reputation wise. They'll come out of it with like a positive experience. But I it kills me to do that. Like, I think your soul fucking dies. The more that you're dishonest, the more your soul just collapses. And what I mean by that is not like a, lying about things. But if someone asks you, how are you doing? And you say, oh, I'm fine. Yeah, how's it going? But in reality, you just cried before you interacted with them, or like someone asks, hey, what did you think of that? And you give them the thing you think they want to hear. And they smile, and they did want to hear it. But I think there's infinitely more value in being honest. Sometimes that honesty is positive. But a lot of times that honesty is not what the other person wants to hear. But I think that is remarkably important. Because if we only hear what we want to hear, you know how that goes wrong. And I'm not going to contribute to that anymore. I think that I have been dishonest in my life. In that, I know what to say to get a reaction that I want. And it's just not the right way to live. I think that the right way to live is very simple. Saying how you feel. Obviously, you need emotional awareness and like context. Like, if someone's crying, maybe it's not the time to dive in on like deep honesty. It can be surface level, or you can prioritize their feelings in the moment and maybe save that honesty for a little bit later. Being honest doesn't mean you have to hurt somebody. But I think that if you're not honest, it's just like an eventual snowball effect of, you weren't honest a year ago. Oh, fuck, the shitload of stuff built on that, right? Like imagine your friend is like, hey, what do you think of this idea for my stream? And then you're like, yeah, that's pretty good, man. And then they commit to it and they invest a couple $1,000s, and then it flops, and they're like, oh, this didn't do too well. I don't know why. And you're like, I don't know why. But in the back of your head, you're just like, oh my God, it was a horrible fucking idea. And they wasted all their time, and oh God, Jesus. But if you were just honest and you workshopped it with them, maybe you could have changed the trajectory of what happened for them. And so, yeah, one of my goals right now and the things that I'm learning is that I want to be honest and be like the real me. Because I'm really proud of myself. And I think being my honest self is fine. And I think that it's something worth sharing. Yeah. So anyway, I think the TLDR of this video is that today I learned a lot about my goals as a creator. And these are my goals and my motivations for right now, 2023. I think it's four things. I'm going to tack on another thing. So the first thing was friendship with other creators. The second thing is improvement and just passion about gaming. The third thing is sharing that passion with people in my audience and showing that it's okay to be a nerd, that it's okay to be a weirdo within reason, that it's okay to be, like passionate about things. And then the fourth thing is, and this is something that just dawned on me as I was saying it, is I also want to just improve everything I make every single time I do it. If I'm not improving, I'm so incredibly bored. So I need to make sure that as I'm doing things, and it's going to keep being hard. It'll never get easier, I think. But I'm going to just keep improving and keep making better and better and better things. There is no upper bound. and that's just how it is. And then the other thing is honesty, focusing on being honest with myself and being honest with others and sharing that honesty, and not keeping it to myself, because I think that people need to hear things. If it's hard or if it's nice, it's important to be honest. It's also important to care about other people's feelings. So like there's a time and place for honesty. And there's a time and place for maybe not saying everything, but maybe waiting a little bit. Because, feelings. But anyway, thanks for listening. I'll let you know when I have more learnings. Bye-bye.